from hardship. Now, the law also provides that economic disadvantage should not be the sole reason for a child to be in your home. It should not be the sole reason. Rather, we begin to explore other options. Okay, are we going to adopt family strengthening measures? Are we going to adopt other measures as well that can support the child being in that family? Because some may say, I don't get money to send my pikin go school. The solution there is not that you now take the child. There could be exploration of other options. Say, okay, the problem is school fees. The problem is upkeep. And I encourage us too, for some of us who are budding founders here, you could begin to consider these solutions. You know, sometimes when our mind goes to helping children in this circumstance, our mind somehow it works in a linear progression. As if when you hear, I want to help children, orphans are vulnerable, your mind will start saying, open orphanage, open children home. The truth is that there are many ways to help children, and it's important for your mind to be broadened. Look at, read laws, read documents, expound your mind, and you begin to see that, wait, I can help children even from their homes, so that homes don't break down, so that children can also enjoy the love of, yes, mother is late, but father is there. And they should not also be deprived of fatherly love, fatherly care, because mother too is gone, okay? So we look at others: parental care, protection and maintenance, thought, conscience, and religion. This one is also hampered on in our laws, even in the provisions down as well when it comes to children. So it talks about still respecting the religion of that child, guiding the child, and not necessarily imposing a particular religion, because the child is coming from a different background, could be coming from a different background. So it's good as well to attend to that. Then we talked about best interest, which is the overriding principle. Participation. The law also, even when it comes to children in alternative care, talks about hearing from the child. It helps. It really helps, because with that, you are able to have a holistic overview of the circumstance and provide the best solution. Sometimes, without hearing from the child, you're going in one direction. But later, when you hear from the child, you realize, okay, it's not necessarily that way I was thinking. And then freedom of movement. This also applies. In fact, all the laws apply. Freedom of movement now, it can apply in several forms, including children with special needs. For instance, what is your care mechanism for children with special needs? Are they being locked up in a place? No way to come out, no way to, we need to consider. Also, for instance, children that come in generally, even without special needs, are they just being put in bed? That no coming out to play out of the bed. The essence of these rights as well is that it relates directly to the child. What we don't know is that you may be saying, I don't want them to get dirty, I don't want them to injure, I just want them to stay in the bed like that. The truth is that it hampers on even their development. It hampers on the children's development. It hampers on their brain development. It hampers on even their formative years. So it's important that they move around. It's important that they play. It's important. That's why also you should have a compound. I think this is, Fumi will talk a bit more on that. Have where they can play. Have where they can move about. These things, though seeming like black and white, it applies directly to children and their lives. Then we also talk about association and peaceful assembly. Interestingly, this one, like I said, there are many ways to consider it, and it helps. You can use it as a checklist from time to time, maybe quarterly, or even in the course of your work, and do first of all, a broad assessment, and from time to time, check. You ask yourself, okay, I hope what we are doing doesn't hamper on their freedom, their right of association and peaceful assembly. And I'll give somewhat of an interesting take. I think I read this in a book, and a child that was adopted. Now he was adopted, and then he was always crying with the new parent. They're like, we are giving you everything 18, we are buying you new clothes, we are buying you new toys. Why? Is it that you're ungrateful? And they realized that no, the child missed his friends in the children's home. Does it mean that, oh, because he misses his friends in the children's home, they should not take him back there? No. You will now begin to consider, okay, could he do periodic visits to go and see them? Because they are almost like the family he now had, and the connection, the bond he has now created. And to also somewhat detach that bond in that way will also hamper on their psychology and even their ability to form bond with you as the new parent. Because they will begin to have that bit of distrust that, if I start bonding, if I start smiling and laughing and with this mommy and daddy now, next thing they will take me out or take me back. So it affects on their ability to form relationships and bonds in the future. So that's why it's important as well. We talk about life survival and development, not solely in terms of the quantity, but also in the quality of the life. I just want to confirm how many minutes. Oh, I finished it. Hey, okay, sorry. So, talk about life survival and sorry, I'll just round up now. Life survival and development, not solely in terms of the length, which is very important, but also in terms of the quality. And you can relate this to many other areas, including health and health services. When we talk about health and services, we're not talking about only physical health, which is very important. And it also relates to even the structure of your facility and the running of your facility and the feeding system and the quality of the food. But we're also talking about the mental health of the children. Are your structures in place? Are we adopting systems? And now, when I mean systems now, are we talking about the fact that, okay, this child is supposed to spend 15 years in an institutional facility? What is the impact of a child growing up from beginning to end, or growing up for so many years in an institutional setting? So these are things we begin to consider. These and many, many more. To round up, I will mention freedom from discrimination, ensuring and also name and identity, ensuring that we don't put children in a situation where today we are in a very digital world. You post a child in orphanage, and tomorrow the child is like, I don't want people to know that I don't have family and I'm in orphanage. So these are things you begin to consider. How are we ensuring that we are not exposing? Yes, in your mind, you're not discriminating, and in your mind, you're not doing anything harmful. It's for my brand, but you need to consider, are these things, will they hamper on the digital footprint of this child and the future and their freedom from discrimination and their identity in the future? Because some of them don't want that to even be part of what they even. I remember meeting a child as well. She's grown now, and she was in a children's home. She didn't even say hi to me, and I clicked because I was like, maybe she doesn't just want to have that whole, relate that thing of, somebody now come and me that I'm here forming, me that I'm living a new identity here now. Somebody from my past now come and know me here. So it's important for us to consider these things. Name and identity as well. Children, they have their own names. We also will not go about naming. In fact, there is no legal grounding for you to name children in your homes after your son's name. It is actually an illegality. Thank you, and thank you all so much.